Hello my lovely friends, my name is Ava and here are my favorite romances of the year so far. About halfway through the year, so I thought why not talk to y'all about the books that I've been loving this year. These are all the books that I've given 5 stars to in 2025 so far. So we're actually just gonna be going in order. That's how I have it on my list. The order in which I read them. So let's get started. My first 5-star for the year was Natalie the Love Song by Julie Soto. I loved Forget Me Not last year. It was so good. So this is kind of like the companion second book, I want to say. I don't really know. They're not really correlated all that much, honestly. And I can't really talk about this book. But this is, I believe, Adam Driver fanfiction, if you can tell by the guy on the cover. He's very Adam Driver-esque. Both of our characters are musicians. They perform in an orchestra together. The hero has never noticed the heroine before. And at the beginning of this book, something happens to her, he finally does. And he just becomes kind of like obsessed with her. She plays the violin and he plays the cello. And he's a very like famous guy and she's like, oh, he's never gonna notice me. Obviously then he does, right? And that's all I can say. The scene that the cover is depicting is so hot and so good. Also book number 1, the first one is chef's kiss amazing. I love it so much. I'm really excited for Julie Soto's new book to be coming out in just like a month or 2, I want to say. And that's her like Hermione fanfiction that's finally being published. Probably my favorite historical that I've read this year is The Wickedness of a Highlander by Lisa Braden. Y'all, this one is so good, so good. Basically, you can tell by the title, it's a Highlander romance. Our heroine is down on her luck at the beginning of this book. In one of the previous books in the series, her brother did something really bad and kind of made an enemy of this very, very powerful Highlander family. So she's down on her luck. Her whole entire family is gone, dead, passed away, or in trouble, right? She ends up in this town with no money, no belongings, nothing. And the only thing she can think of is to get a job because that's how she should be making money. She's a lady, she's never worked a day in her life. She's like, this is what I have to do. I'm gonna be like on the streets if I don't find a job. She hears some whisperings and finds out that there's this guy who's in need of like a housekeeper. She's like, okay, let me go find him. Let me go track him down. When she finally does, she is like, oh, I'm not getting this job. And it's because her brother did this guy dirty. He's a part of the family that her brother kind of betrayed. She decides to just give a sales pitch basically, and he reluctantly agrees because he needs someone. But in actuality, he hired her to get revenge on her because he was adamant that she was involved with her brother's scheming. So this book is about this titled lady learning how to cook and clean and doing a horrible job at it. And the hero trying to sabotage her. And then when he does, he's very guilty about it. He's like, why should I be feeling guilty? This woman ruined my life, or had a part in ruining my life. But anyway, the bickering, the bantering in this book is top-notch, amazing. I was obsessed with this. I want to reread it. Every time I think about this book, I need to reread it. This is one of those moments. I feel like I need to reread it like right now. Chloe Lisa came out with a new book, so that's obviously on this list. I love Chloe Lisa. This one is definitely for people who like a softer book. There's not really high stakes. There's no angst. I really love this one because it's so slow and I feel like authentic in how 2 regular schmo people can fall in love. That's typically what you see in real life. So I loved how we got this. There's obviously great representation in here. It's a Chloe Lisa book. And yeah, both these characters kind of just come across each other one night when they're on vacation. And they have this amazing night together and they haven't really stopped thinking about each other since. It's been months later and they come across each other again and they're like, hey, I remember you. And things kind of go from there. I feel like that's very typical of a normal romance that would happen in real life to someone. There's no angst, there's no drama, there's no theatrics. Like, that's why I think I like this one, and I think that's why a lot of people don't. It's very realistic, and so that's why I really liked it. Another historical that I really enjoyed is The Heiress's Daughter by Gracie. This is the 3rd book in her Brides of Bel Air Garden series, and the other 2 books were good. And then I read this one, and this one's definitely my favorite. We got to meet this heroine in the previous book where it was her sister's story. Our heroine in this one, book number 3, she is an heiress, and her big rule when it comes to men is she doesn't want any fortune hunters. She is sick of men only wanting her because of her fortune. She finds herself to be plump and plain, and she wants a man to love her, and she can smell it from a mile away when a man wants her other than her fortune. So when her brother-in-law's best friend starts paying attention to her, Lord Ramsay, she kind of maybe smells something fishy. Like, he's not after that. He's not after that at all. He started falling for Clarissa like the moment that he saw her. When everyone makes like snide little comments about her or her weight or her fortune, he is there to defend her in every sense of the word. So I love this one. It was so swoony, and I don't know, I just really related to our heroine, so that's why I enjoyed this one. Keren Cole gets me, y'all. She knows how to get your heartstrings. So A Tide by Keren Cole is on this list. Whew, this one is an emotional gut punch. So this book starts out with our hero. He is kind of like the town outcast. He doesn't speak really, and he's walking in the woods and comes across a like 16-year-old girl, maybe 16-year-old girl in a hole with a dog in the middle of the woods, and he ends up rescuing her from this situation. Turns out she was abducted when she was a child, and the man who abducted her just kept her in this hole in the woods for years. Her only companion being a dog that has no vocal cords. I think it's about a year or two after the point that she's been rescued. The hero is still a town outcast. At one point they actually thought, the town thought that he kidnapped her, so they were being really rude to him, but then things ended up coming to light on who actually kidnapped her. Anyway, she comes across the hero again in the woods at one point and wants to befriend him so badly. That's all I'm gonna leave you with. There's an age gap here, obviously. I think she just turned 18 when this book is starting. If that's not your vibe, don't pick this one up, but this one is emotional and beautiful, and I could not stop reading it when I picked it up. Probably the most emotional one on this list, possibly has the least amount of romance in it, but I couldn't help but love it. This is Promise Me Sunshine by Carstone. I do feel like this one leads more towards women's fiction. This one definitely focuses more on our heroine and the grief that she is going through. At the beginning of this book, you read about how devastated she is still after her best friend's passing away from cancer. She lived with her best friend. She hasn't been back to her apartment in months. She's just like sleeping where she can in New York City. She literally like takes a ferry, the cover, they're on a ferry, right? Sleeps on the ferry going to and from Manhattan. Like, she is not doing well. She ends up getting this nannying gig, and this is her romance with the kid that she's nannying's uncle. Yeah, uncle. And he knows a lot about grief and loss. He's lost his mother, his father, his cousin, who was his best friend. The heroine has an amazing relationship with the little girl that she's nannying, and the little girl and her uncle don't have the best relationship because they just learned about each other. So he tells the heroine, hey, I will help you, kind of like be your grief coach, help you through this horrible time, hard time in your life, if you help me become closer to my niece, because I feel like she doesn't like me, so I'd love your help. And that's basically what this is about. I love our heroine and our hero. I love both of them. It's amazing. I can't hype this one up enough, but again, it focuses more on the heroine and her grief than it does the romance, but they slowly start to fall in love with each other the more time they spend together. A novella that's actually on this list is A Wave Song by Emma Hamm. You can read this one as a standalone, but I also think you'd get more out of it if you've already read Whispers of the Deep by Emma Hamm, which is the first book in her like merman dark romance series. It all takes place underwater. Humans have created these underwater city domes for them to live underneath the water because there are constant tsunamis and rain, and like there's no land above the ocean anymore. So they've moved under the sea, where undines, which are mermaid creatures, they're the ones who rule the sea basically, and the humans are ruining their lives. So this book starts out when those cities are just starting to take shape. It's kind of like the origin story for the first ever mermaid human pairing couple. It's beautiful. There's a language barrier, but y'all know me, I'm a sucker for that, and that's all I'm gonna say. It's beautiful and amazing. Like I can't stop thinking about this one either. I finally got to Out of the Woods by Hannah Bonham Young. The audiobook is great. This is a marriage and crisis romance. These two characters got married pretty young, like right out of high school. They're kind of in like a rocky point in their relationship, and they don't know what to do. So they go on this kind of like couple's wilderness retreat for couple healing, and they learn how to communicate with each other, and they just kind of learn to fall more in love with each other through this experience and this trip. That's all I'll say about this one. Hannah knows how to write her butt off, and I'll read anything that she writes. This one leans again more towards the women's fiction side, but I don't care. I love this one. And the romance was great because Caleb can get it any day. Like, can you just look at him? He's like a snack, okay? This cartoon is a snack. Are you joking? I have to put Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins on this list, even though it's not a romance book. It's like the only romance book I haven't read. It's the only non-romance book I've read this year. That's because I'm a diehard Hunger Games fan. So yeah, this was my gym book. So I have a book that I purposefully only read at the gym because it motivates me to go to the gym to read the book. So I make sure to pick like a more high stakes one that I'm really invested in. And I just kept going to the gym to freaking walk and listen to this book, and I was like gasping, like trying to rein myself in while reading this. If you didn't know about this book, this is the next book in Suzanne Collins' like Hunger Games universe. It takes place during Haymitch's Hunger Games, which is the 50th one, and tells his story. So that's all I'll say. I think honestly this is the best written one out of all of them. Another second chance romance that I really enjoyed, if you couldn't tell, I love the second chance romance, is Left It Forever by Tara DeWitt. These two characters are actually divorced. They've been divorced I think for like 8 years, I want to say, and they're sending their son off to college, and they decide to have a little road trip driving back home after dropping him off at college, and they kind of reconnect. They never actually stopped loving each other. They just had to learn how to talk to each other again because they've both grown as people. Yeah, you get flashback scenes into when they first fell in love, which I really enjoyed. And yeah, this one is emotional as fuck. Okay, you're like, this one tugged at my heartstrings as well. But no, another author knows how to write her butt off. This one was great. Definitely my favorite Tara DeWitt book. I read, I think, all of them. This one is definitely my favorite. I finally read Him by Serena Bone and Elle Kennedy, so that is on this list. I guess Us could be like mushed into it as well because I kind of picture Him and Us as one book. And I still need to listen to the novella. I purchased the audiobook of the novella. I think it's called Epic. I have not read that one yet, so I need to. But Him is a best friends, two lovers romance. It's an MM romance. These two guys met at a hockey summer camp, and they were best friends until one point one of the guys like completely cuts his friend off. Like stops talking to him, stops messaging him, completely stops. It's been a few years, I think maybe 5 years later, and they're both professional hockey players. They come across each other in a hockey game, and they play against each other, and they're put back into each other's lives. They both end up becoming like coaches at the hockey summer camp where they met at, and they're having to room together, and things kind of get pent up, and maybe feelings are revealed. And yeah, that's all I'll say. I really enjoyed this one. I haven't read a hockey romance in a hot minute, and this one was really good. Last one that I have to mention is Give Me Butterflies by Julian Meadows. This is a me book. If you love Hannah Bottom Young, if you love her vibe, this is it for you. Okay, this is it for you. This is the romance between Millie and Finn. They actually work at the same museum. I think Finn is in the astronomy department and the heroine is in the I forget what it's called. Entomology. It's on the back. Entomology department. So like the butterflies and the bugs and whatnot. The hero just got custody of his 2 twin nieces because his sister ended up passing away, and the little girls start up at the day camp that's happening at the museum for I think like a week over the summer. The heroine learns about his nieces and him a little bit more, and she can tell like the hero maybe needs some help. He's kind of drowning, and so I think she like offers to teach them how to bake cookies maybe, and he's like, yes please, like teach me anything you can, because he's drowning. He's like, the only thing I know how to cook that they will eat are freaking chicken nuggets and mac and cheese, and I know that's not healthy for them, so anything you can do to help me out, please. So she comes over basically every Friday night after work to help him like learn a new recipe of some sort along with the girls, and they end up just falling for each other, and it's so stinking cute. This is marketed as like enemies to lovers, Grumpy Sunshine, and I don't like that because I don't think it's either of those things. There's like a little bit of like a bickering at first at their workplace. That's literally maybe one chapter. I think they're both sunshines. So I love 2 sunshines, 2 golden retrievers. That's That's what these two characters are. So I love this one so much, and I can't wait for Julian's new book to come out. Anyways, there you have it. Those are all the books that I've given 5 stars to so far in 2025. Let me know down below if you've read any of these books or if you plan to, and also let me know what books you have given 5 stars to. I would love to know. If you don't feel like commenting anything else, you can leave me a star emoji in the comment section down below. But anyways, thank y'all so much for watching. I will see y'all soon in my next one. Bye y'all.